setting up your meeting for a custom streaming service. And this is what I was waiting for last time. And hey, we've got Ryan that just joined us. Welcome, everybody. We are actually live here, and this is Yonks with REtoken, the Real Estate DAO. And we are going to be implementing Coordinape. This is our third working group on community tools, and this is only going to be a 1 hour working group, and it's probably not even going to be that long because wanting to be respectful of the team's time here on a Sunday afternoon. But this is a working group where we implemented the first portion of Coordinape, and let me just hop right into our app on Coordinape. And it's we did go through and set up some circles, so let me bring that open here. So has anybody used Coordinape before that's currently on the Zoom? So I'm wanting, before anybody answers, let me just go through the list of the participants that we have over here, because I'm going to do a screenshot of this, and this is one of the opportunities that we have, setting up some integration with Zoom and Airtable. Had a little bit of conversation on our core team call, but we're laying some solid foundation here in December of 2021 for REtoken. So we've got Crush, myself, Ernest of Gaia, Tyler, my wonderful wife, Mrs. Yonks, Ryan, and Andrea. Welcome, everybody, here. This is our Coordinape, where we're going to be going through. So we've got a little bit of a different audience. I think the only person that was on here previously that's not on here before was Blur's Day. So this is Coordinape. So let me go back to that question again. And we've got Dax and Amy that just joined us, I believe, under the guise of the mysterious Anon Zoom user. So has anybody that's on the call used Coordinape before?
Hey, Dax, I think your mic's open.
I've used it before.
So do you feel comfortable kind of giving a real quick high level as far as what it looks like from a user standpoint?
Yeah, so you are put into groups and you are given some give tokens, and you just have to allocate those to the other people in your group according to how much they've done or how much you know of that they've done. And and then at the end, you know, you receive them as well from other people. And at the end, you have your give, and it when I did it with Uma, it translated over to UDAO, sorry. And so we were compensated for our work, but yeah, so that's about it.
So I think it's kind of hard to get your head wrapped around until you get a couple of cycles in. So it might be beneficial to kind of go through as far as how that I was kind of envisioning that we would execute on the implementation of this. So like Crush was alluding, we have this and it's functionally called a circle here in Coordinape. So this is something that we already went through and did. And let me take a look over here. And this is something too, to kind of go off on a tangent. As everybody knows, I go off on a lot of tangents, but it's worth mentioning though. YouTube, we're up to 58 subscribers on our YouTube channel. This is like one of the are the main content channel that we've been consistently leveraging for weeks now. And this is like, this call is, this Zoom is being live streamed here. So where I was going with this, and I don't know for sure, I've got to take a look and see if it's even in this channel. I'm not going to take the time of doing that, but this is, we did have a very brief, and that was one of the things that I did link in the agenda card over here. And let me go to the one here. So the previous one where so I do have it here. So right here, implement Coordinape. So if somebody wants that missed that, that's where we set up the circles that we've got, the initial. And this was one of the things that was talking about just during the core team call that we just had. And this has been reflected and will continue to be conversed as far as the circles now, or the teams. Now, this is the thing where we may go through 4 cycles. So I really like operating in a weekly cadence. So that's one of the things, while ramping up, continue to operate like, and so kind of going back to the execution strategy, it's December 5th. This is the session that we're in right now. So what I was expecting, and we'll have to see if I want to schedule something on the 26th of December, just a little tidbit. That is my birthday. One of the things that I was thinking, though, that would be fun.
Your wife is firing that idea. We're not working on your birthday. That's fired.
Hold on. It does have a significance to the community, though, too. July 26th is the origin date. That is when REtoken became a Wyoming DAO LLC. So I would be okay carving out a time of my birthday. Now, Mrs. Yonks may be creating a compelling case. I'll take that offline and we'll make that determination. That's a few weeks out. But where I was going with that is, we've got this time. It works really well on the tail end of our core team call. And, one of the things that I'm not sure if it will make sense to do, and one of the things that I like doing is leading by example. So one of the things that I'm going to encourage all of you to do, because what it looks like when you go through the process, and we can talk a little bit about this during the community call on Wednesday, because we don't have the Epoch open right now. And that's one of the things that we can go ahead and do here during today's working group, is add the contributors to the teams that everybody wants to contribute in. And I'm assuming that everybody's here because they want to contribute in some capacity. We've got lots of opportunity for teams to contribute. You can decide on if you want to contribute on all of those or one of those, or, you have a better understanding. So where I was going with this, we're getting ready to kick off week 49. That was core team week 49 call that we just concluded. We are technically in week 48 right now, and week 49 is the week that starts on Monday, December the 6th. So 49, 50, 51, 52. So we've got 4 weeks here, and the thoughts is to budget 250 REtoken per team, because the way that I understand the way that Coordinape works is it kicks out a CSV, and then you take that and then you do the airdrop based upon like for this core team. If we say 250, then you multiply, like, let's say Blur's Day, he got all of it. So he would get a 250 bonus REtoken. He got all of the gives. Now, technically that's impossible because Blur's Day has to give some to the rest of the people. So what that happens is it creates this really interesting engagement map over time. And then it allows us to really learn how to use the tool. I don't know if 250 is the right number. I mean, I don't want to change how we're allocating REtoken. This is a bonus. So all of this opportunity, like when you think about 250 times 4, that's 1,000. So this is basically like 1,000 new REtoken that we're going to be allocating to the various teams while we're learning how to use this new tool. So that being said, I'm going to allow everybody to chime in on that thought to see if that makes sense as far as how I was explaining it.
I think it sounds super interesting. I would, I don't know if it's possible to do a test run or maybe a live run with this week's projects or whatever. And just, I think I'll probably understand it more once it's happening and we can start giving tokens to each other and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the expectation is for this next 4 weeks, is it's really going to be a trial run of this new team's architecture that we're talking about too. So this is really like a rubber meets the road type of a framework where we've got a tool where we can start operating with some cadence, like the core team. So like, just to put some expectations forward, is really wanting the core team to kind of, and one of the things, and this is just to kind of put the seed out there, we may go through this next 4 weeks and say, okay, well, we don't need a core team, or maybe we don't need a dev team, or, you know, I really think with where we're at, I really feel confident that these 4 teams are 4 teams that we can go with here in season 0. Now we may discover that we need some more teams or more circles, because like one of the things that with the ambassadors program is I would really like to foster some autonomy where ambassadors could potentially run their own circle and admin their own circle, like Mayor from Chicagoland. You know, Chicago's got 12 million people, so having a strong presence in Chicago makes sense. So, you know, we may have multiple ambassadors that are driving the REtoken leadership train there. So that's the nice thing about Coordinape, is that it creates a framework that I think that we can scale well within. So that's kind of the expectation, or the putting some vision forward. And one of the things that I garnered from participating in other DAOs, like you can see here, Creator DAO. This is where I participated in like literally my first cycle of doing gives as a creator, ironically on the Coordinape, who was recently a client of Creator DAO. I went through the process. I think I've got a screenshot. I'm not going to dig that up here. But that being said, who's ready to start raising their hand as far as what teams that they want to be on? And we can start adding some contributors to these various teams. And one of the things we can kind of slice and dice this. I've got Mrs. Yonks and myself are admins on both of these. And I don't know if you're in a position, Tyler, where you can start adding some contributors to the circles that we've got here. But that's kind of the thoughts where I'm at right now. And again, would love to hear some questions, thoughts, concerns from the other participants here in the call.
I have a question, Jason.
Yes, go for it, Amy.
These teams that you're saying we're forming, is this like a beta run for the ambassador program? Is that what you're looking for? Or just for any projects within our DAO?
So Coordinape is a tool that could be used for functionally anything that we want to allocate where there's some type of team dynamic, is a good way to think of Coordinape. So it's a tool that allows through a the mechanism that they've created. And like one of the things that I would encourage people to do, there's a great on this, and this is one of the things that I included in the thread here, the Coordinape thread, was this article from, and I think I've got it pinned. Let's see. No, I don't. Let me pin it here real quick. Pin this message. So the Reading Ape, who is one of the creators at Creator DAO, they did an amazing Twitter thread, and then also a article over here that really summarized aping in DAOs talk Coordinape. And this is like four different perspectives. So this is really like, if you have any thoughts or doubts or concerns, this is some flagship DAOs here: Bankless DAO, Forefront, which is a newer one, Pool Together. Definitely encourage you to go through. I'm pinning that in this Coordinape thread also to take a look at that. So and I'm looking here, Andrea, on your Zoom chat. So it's not that you're, don't be worried about where you're at on things. I mean, the opportunity of jumping in, like this is literally the first conversation. Nobody else, the only other person that's on this Zoom right now that's had any conversation about Coordinape or the tools that we're using here is Tyler. So everybody's functionally at the same page on using Coordinape. So don't worry about that. We're all learning here together. And this is a tool where, you know, we're laying a foundation. That's what we're doing here. We're in season 0 of REtoken. We are all here. The reason that we're hanging out here on Sunday afternoon on now the second Zoom, the second live stream, because we are so optimistic about the opportunity of real estate and the tokenization of real estate. And Blackfire is joining us. So that's why we're here. So don't feel bad.
I just want to spend a special shout out to Blackfire, who I keep forgetting is on the other side of the world, and I keep DMing him in the middle of the night. So sorry about that. I'm really bad at time zones, and I apologize.
So Ryan was chatting in Zoom here, and this is one of the things. Let me see here. This is one of the things. I'm not sure everybody here. So help us, everybody. Instead of using Zoom chat, please use the chat live stream in Discord. So because the Zoom chat, it doesn't go out to our channel, and the opportunity of having some engaging. And this is one of the things, Ernest, I also see Teresa is chiming in here from YouTube. So let's try to be social media ninjas, because that's one of the other things that we've got here too. We all are so early, and like a little secret. I mean, I've been chasing a lot of different things for a lot of different years. I do think that we've had some success as serial entrepreneurs, and definitely had success as an IT professional, and very excited about learning Web3. I'm newer to crypto myself. Like March 2021, I didn't have a crypto wallet. So this Web3 and the opportunity for us to position as Web3 professionals and just lean hard and learn together and come together and use the collaborative knowledge that we're learning here. And this is like Coordinape. We're talking about cutting edge tools here, everybody. Like Index Co-op. I just tweeted in our Coordinape channel or our Coordinape thread, Index Co-op. If you don't know Index Co-op, take a look. They have an amazing success story. I think now in Index Co-op, they've got like 200 or 300 million assets under management that are traded through basically how that they've structured their whatever. I don't know all the stuff that they do, but it's really cool project. So getting back to the Coordinape, I'm wanting to yield the mic and let anybody else chime in from an audio standpoint that would like to hop in on the audio conversation.
Let's try it.
So does that make sense as far as the 250 per team per week, where
Hey.
it comes out to about 1,000 a week?
Hey, Jason, I'm trying to, like Ernest just mentioned that he wanted to be on the ambassador team. I'm in admin now. Do I just add everybody just generically with 100, or what do I need to do to?
So we can the biggest thing that we need to do is get the take the opportunity right now of just getting the Discord role updated. I don't know if we'll be able to get everybody added to the here in Coordinape. The other thing too that we need to find out, we've got 3 admins currently. Want to give anybody else that would love during this exploratory window that we've got that wants to commit for the next 4 weeks to be an admin, if they want to figure out how to implement Coordinape from an administration standpoint, want to give that opportunity too. So if you want to be a Coordinape admin and you're on the call here and you're going to commit for the next 4 Sundays, I already put forward the execution plan. We're going to have this same time frame at the tail end of our core team call. And yeah.
Yeah, sure. Add me, Jason.
Awesome. So Dex is going to be one of our admins. So thank you for taking that initiative. And because like one of the things that I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work, Dax, is exporting the CSV and then doing the magic on the back end. But we've got the next week to figure that out. So one of the things here, I'm going to go ahead and go through the process right now of adding an epoch. So we're on the core team. We did this first epoch, but we never went through the gives on the on that. So let me go ahead and click on add epoch, and this epoch repeats weekly, and the epoch length is going to be for 7 days. And let's put the start time, and I'm going to take a look here. I've got this cool little app for doing time zone conversions. So let's put the start on this on Monday, and let's make the start like 10 a.m. I think on the start, because that'll give, when I'm looking at the time, that'll give people until like 2 a.m. to complete their updates. And again, I would really like people to, we've got this allocated time, and I'm hoping that we can go through, and this is to kind of set the pace. I'll go through and during our next week's live stream, allocate the gives for the 4 teams, because I'm personally going to be participating in all 4 teams. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a lot of activity on all 4 of those teams. Now, I think that we should be intentional about capturing what we're doing, and I'll show you what I mean by that, because that's one of the things, the better that you can do to say to the community of how you're contributing to the community, they'll be more likely to allocate you the gives. So that'll become very apparent here over the next 4 weeks while we're putting this in place. And I'm super excited to see how that unfolds and how our community really rallies behind this. And I would really encourage people to delve in. This is something, I'm saying this to myself because I know enough, and I've been very candid. I'm an experiential learner. So I'm the get in, roll your sleeves up, put a time frame in there, and make it happen and let her rip. So Epoch start date, December the 6th. Let's make this at 10 a.m. UTC. Oh, I guess we got a little dial guy here. So 10 a.m. Save. This epoch repeats So it'll go December 6th and end on December the 13th. And let me take a look. I'm gonna December 6th to December the 13th. And yes, okay, good. So I'm gonna go through and do that for all of these 4 teams, and this will give us our Epoch. And I don't know if we can rename the Epoch, but it's there. So this is Epoch 2 on core team. And so let's go to the dev team. And I'm actually going to let, this is something I'm going to let D-Sign, since he's raising his hand to be the dev team lead, I'm going to help him do the Epoch, and I'll take that offline for D-Sign. So let's go down to the content team.
Hey,
And
real quick,
go ahead.
Ernest, send me your wallet. I'm trying to add you in and I can't do it without your wallet.
So content team, we have a content team meeting coming up here. If you're really wanting to be on the content team, and whether that's so much opportunity, you know, and it can be anything from behind the scenes, like Reg CF. We're wanting to start having a strategy on really delving in and exploring the Reg CF space. But anyway, the content team, I'm wanting to have an initial call tomorrow, Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time for the content team. And this is something I'm gonna want to have a lot of conversations. Tyler can attest how big of a fan I am of the Content Inc. business model. And I really categorize us as a media DAO or a content DAO. So content is going to be a very, very important component of the whole strategy in 2022. So the content, let me go ahead and get the Epoch. We don't have any Epoch scheduled. Let me add the Epoch. Epoch repeats weekly, and we're going to have it start on the 6th. And the same length, 4 days, and let's do, or 7 days, and we're going to do 10, and that was AM on the 6th. So upcoming Epoch for content team, and let's go over to the ambassadors. So ambassadors, this here, we haven't developed our ambassadors program yet. So like the ambassadors team as it exists here for the next 4 weeks may be very different than it is for the next 4 weeks, or whatever time frame that we decide to go for the next time frame of Coordinape. I kind of like that idea because 4 weeks is a nice round number, and it's kind of almost a month. But let me go ahead and add the ambassadors Epoch here. And start date, Epoch length 7, and start at 10 a.m. Oh, we want it to repeat weekly. Save. All right. So we've got, so one of the other things too is on the allocate tab, and this is, I'm going to go back through the 4 teams that we've got here. So allocate. So down here where it's got myself, where it says opted out. So right now I am opted out. And this is one of the administration things. And again, we're all learning here. So this is who are your teammates in the core team. Let me, I'm clicking on my Epoch. So this is right over here, my Epoch. I'm going to opt in, save Epoch settings, and I'm going to go through and opt in on this on all 4 teams. Now, we'll try to do a better job from the administration, but bear with us. We're learning how to do this. I've not adminned any Coordinape circles, and I've only participated in from a creator side one time. So My Epoch, I'm going to go ahead and opt in on the dev team circle. And again, I'm going to work with DSign as far as the administration on the dev team circle offline. Content team, my Epoch. And so see where I was talking about what have you been working on? So this is where over the next week, do a good job, like, you know, how, and think about how that you're contributing. Like we've got opportunities to put tools in place, like but then also like just doing things like retweeting or whatever the case may be, like and this is one of the things that I'm excited about this tool, because I think it will help us all be intentional for thinking about what value that we're contributing to the community at large. So we have a Juju Main joining us here. So all of our epochs begin in 12 hours. Does anybody have any questions? What have gone through? We've got to get everybody added as contributors. Let me see here. I'm on which epoch here? Content team. I can't remember if I'm opted in. Let's see. And ambassadors, did I opt in on this?
Hey, Jason, can you give us a rundown of what just happened? Who leads each team and how can we participate?
So that's one of the things here, Amy. We don't have that defined. So like we're participating right now in the Coordinape, and this will really like help us to, I think, define as far as how we can better participate in the community. And you know, like I'm doing a lot of stuff outside of, you know, creating the agenda for a lot of, and you know, this is a tool and a framework where I can hopefully allow other people to step up in different leadership roles, like, you know, different teams. This might not be the teams that we need to really thrive in 2022. So, you know, this isn't like we don't have any like strong definitions around our community. So we're not operating, it's all like Play-Doh here. We can create the community like from a content standpoint. Really, the only thing that we're doing from a consistently from a content standpoint right now is our community call and our core team call. And there's a lot of opportunity to wrap that up in a better written format. And, you know, so that's one of the things, like, what do you find value in? What can we create here at REtoken that people want to pay for? Like we're working towards a token summit. And that's one of the things that we haven't had a lot of conversations. We're still putting some tools in place where we can have a framework, I think, to have those types of conversations. So this is where I'm wanting to hear what some thoughts as far as how people can contribute and what we want to create here as a community. And I'll open up the roadmap too, because this is something that we've been talking quite a bit about throughout our white paper working group, and the opportunity to add things to our roadmap that makes sense, you know. So I'm gonna bring this open and go on mute and let some other people chime in here, because we've got 7 minutes left on our allocated time.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Sorry that I couldn't attend the meeting yesterday because it was 3:45 a.m. in my time when the meeting started. So my apologies for inconvenience. Was a very important meeting in terms of community building, and that was particularly for emphasizes on the ambassador program. So I have written a document. If you haven't read it, you can read it on the Discord. I put it out there. That just generalization outlining the guidelines and the frameworks in terms of simple words. But in terms of operations, that's going to have to be we'll have to discuss with Jason and Taylor and rest of the teams how they want to proceed into that. But that just normally mentally preparing everybody who is going to be involved into the ambassador program. So the tasks and the responsibilities you bear to get the REtoken's name out and actively participate into the community and development and positive contribution into the DAO is because we all want to see this project thrives, and he has got a lot of potential in the market. So moving forward, we want everyone to come up with ideas where they can positively contribute. If whatever ideas you have, you can always speak to Taylor or Jason. Very good people, very friendly people, and very easy to approach. So that's one of the good traits for running a team, such a big project like this. So let's work together, and I'm pretty sure that we can work something out to moving forward. And we want to set up an ambassador. Now, in terms of ambassador responsibilities and what you should and shouldn't do, and that sort of there should be some sort of guidelines. So we'll talk about that later, and I'm pretty sure that guidelines can be articulated and discussed with rest of the teams. But in terms of general responsibility is getting to know the project well, so that when someone asks you questions, you can respond well. So you can interact with other people well to their questions and their ideas. Maybe you can give them ideas that say, this is the project coming in the market and it has got a lot of potential. Let's chime in. Let's get involved into it. So I've seen today two of my friends, which is they're also in the Denver, Colorado. They are from there, and they're founders of 05Dec recently just joined and pinged me. I haven't invited them. They just coincidentally popped in there into REtoken, so I pinged Jason and Taylor in there. They're developers, and they're running another project, and I'm not going to talk about that. You can go ahead. It's called the 05Dec. Pretty good project. But in terms of REtoken, we are talking about REtoken, and it is one of the, I would say, one of the best projects in the market in terms of tokenizations of real estate and properties and assets and whatnot. So we would like everyone to come and participate. And moving forward, we would like the ambassador team. We want to form an ambassador team where it is very early stage at this moment, but of course, with time, we can, get something together, put something together, and get a good team going. All your ideas, how you can contribute into the get the word out in terms of the ambassador is one of the main part and component. It's going to be advertising and marketing. How are you gonna get the word out, get people know we exist? How are we going to do that? So we're going to have to work with the marketing team. We don't have a marketing team yet, as far as I understand, but we can get the resources. So if you know how we can market, so yeah, the Caesar, yeah. So yeah, Jason, you got the right idea. So these are the YouTubers, influencers, tweet influencers, industry people. Those are already connected, well connected with the industry, like Poopisters and the developers in Polygons and other, and maybe Zika Singh. Someone needs to go and talk to Zika Singh. Maybe we can apply for a grant as well into them, and building relationship, various different organizations and the DAO in general, human DAO. And there are many other DAOs. So I would suggest that we build a good relationship with Bankless DAO, and because they have a lot of resources, a lot of people connected to it. So it's all about networking. And so I think we have a great future moving forward for the REtoken DAO. And thank you. I thank Jason, of course, for getting everything putting together, and the Taylor is and the other person's name, sorry. What's her name? Forgive me. Marcella? Yeah, Amy. Yeah, thanks for the POAP. Very much appreciated indeed. And that's all from me. Thank you. Over to you, Jason.
Glad you can make it today, Blackfire.
I was just playing around here on the live stream with my last creator DAO participation here on Coordinape. So looking at the time here, we're butting up against the hour, and it is Sunday afternoon here in the US, and wanting to, I'm feeling really good about moving Coordinape forward with what we've got in place, and then also with the participation that we have, and then like a path forward for implementing this. So wanting to give anybody else the opportunity to contribute some final thoughts before we wrap, and I'm going to leave it open here. The plan, and we've already got it on the calendar here for this next week, and this is the Teams and Epoch setup, and I'm going to edit this to just implement Coordinape, and this is going to be week 2 of 5. So this is the first, and we're going to have 4 more conversations on this. This is the Google Calendar event for next Sunday, December the 12th at 4 o'clock Eastern time, where we're going to circle back and again be thinking here over the next week how that you can contribute. And if you've got any questions as far as how that you can contribute, feel free to reach out. I mean, there's lots of opportunities. Like one of the things that have been speaking about, and this is something that with Blur's Day, like having a timestamp keeper during our event where we can just be intentional. And then like one of the other opportunities is after we have those timestamps or those markers, going back to our YouTube content and then putting those markers on the timeline so that it creates a better replay experience for anybody that may be coming and looking at our content after the fact. So, I mean, like we're already up to 58 subscribers here on YouTube, and we haven't really been intentional about refining our content. And this isn't even what I would say is like polished content. This is just our community calls. Like right now, this is being live streamed out to all of the content channels. And then we have our core team call, which we just concluded. But anyway, I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to leave it on the Google Calendar here for this upcoming week, week 49, and let anybody chime in some final thoughts here for implementing Coordinape or anything else about REtoken, anything else coming up here as far as the events and or whatnot.
I'm pretty excited about this. I think it probably seems a lot more confusing than it actually is once we start doing it. So I'm really excited to get started and have a better way that we can scale this community up really big.
I just want to ask, is today the day the DOE will release the winners of the solar project?
I don't know if Hero X or US Department of Energy or whoever, I haven't been paying close attention to that, but we do have several email addresses that we receive notifications on. And that's something that hopefully will receive some determination here. But yeah, so that's a much larger conversation. And for those that aren't familiar, the Hero X is the project that we created Token Town, the HOA destroyer, under that we are still calling our flagship project here at REtoken, the Real Estate DAO. All right, well, we're 5 minutes past. Nobody else chimed in on some thoughts, and I did want to inject real quick. Blackfire wanted to thank you again for the write-up that you did on the ambassadors program. It is definitely something that we contributed your attribution for your, even though that you weren't able to participate in person, we did review your contribution during the team. And that's something that I think, I can't remember if that's something that Blur's Day had itemized within his timestamp on the Google Docs. The biggest takeaway that we had from the ambassadors working group yesterday is the onboarding call here scheduled for Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We've got 30 minutes allocated for that. And that's something that stay tuned for communications. We want to have some more side conversations as far as creating and developing that. But that's the thing. All of these conversations are so preliminary. So the opportunity to get in and contribute, have your voice be heard. We love hearing things from people. We love hearing feedback, ways that we can make things better. And that's one of the things that we are committed to. We know that Discord can be confusing, and I'm a fan of threads, but I know that it's something that a lot of people don't pick up on. And that's one of the things that we are being intentional about, implementing additional tools that will further separate our hub that we've created, our community hub around Discord right now. And like, that's one of the benefits of the tools that we're using for the facilitation of this conversation, Zoom and Restream. Neither one of those are Discord. So the opportunity to utilize a tool like Mighty Networks and make it a more polished or appealing type of experience absolutely exists. So that's one of the things that we are intentional and committed to you, the community, about, because we have this opportunity, we believe here, to steward this opportunity of increasing the access of becoming a real estate investor. We biddle passive income with real estate for everyone. That's a tagline that we're going to be adopting here within REtoken. It's something that kind of came forward through our white paper working groups experience. And that's, again, we've got our white paper working group coming up on Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to wrap it up here. We've already almost 10 minutes over. Thank you again for everybody for hanging out here. We love what we're creating. We love spending time with you. That's the biggest thing, is that we want things to be fun. So thanks for letting things be fun.
Hey, Jason, if you want a POAP made for this Coordinape meeting, can you send me a PNG image? Because the one that you made was kind of a little bit more scattered. If you can make it a little better, then send it to me. I'll send everybody a POAP for this afternoon.
Yeah, no,
thank you. I thank you, Blackfile, for coming. I know it's quite early over there, and you made effort, and that's important to us. We may need to have international
Thank
people
you, Amy.
around us.
Yeah, thank you, Amy, and thanks for the pour up, and thanks to the rest of you as well. Great working with you. Great working with everyone. Thanks.
All right, I'm bringing her to a close. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Tomorrow is week 49. We've got an exciting finish to 2021, an amazing 2022 coming up. Have a good one.